Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for an informative and exciting Global Cruise Line webinar with American Cruise Line. My name is Johanna de Guzman. I'm the Manager of Industry Relations for North American Travel Trade Memberships here at CLIA, and I'm going to quickly go through some housekeeping before introducing our presenter. The webinar will run for about 40 to 45 minutes with time for questions at the end. Please feel free to type your questions into the questions module of the webinar, and we will get to them at the conclusion of the presentation. This webinar is being recorded and will be posted on CLIA's YouTube channel, CLIA Global. It is my pleasure to introduce our presenter, Sarah Smith. Sarah is the Group Manager with American Cruise Lines and has been with the company for over 11 years. She has worked with hundreds of travel advisors throughout the years to help promote and organize group sailings for their clients and enable the travel advisor to utilize all the tools that ACL offers to bring in the most business for their agencies. And with that, take it away, Sarah.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much for inviting me to your webinar. I'm really excited to present American Cruise Lines to your audience and to the travel advisors that we may be familiar with or may be new to American Cruise Lines. So with that, welcome to American Cruise Lines. Who is American Cruise Lines? Some of you may be familiar with us, some of you may not. We are a family-owned and operated cruise line for more than 50 years. We started with one ship in Connecticut, and since then, we have built our fleet to 17 ships right now all across the country. We specialize in U.S. river and coastal cruises. We build our ships at our own shipyard, Chesapeake Shipbuilding in Salisbury, Maryland. We own the shipyard, and therefore we're able to customize and design our own ships to not only our specifications, but to the needs of our clientele. What kind of feedback have they given? What size stateroom seems to be the most popular? What are the amenities that are most popular with our clientele? And with every new iteration of ships, we just expand on those just to make the experience better and better throughout the years. When I first started 11 years ago, we had 5 ships. Now we have 17 with more in the pipeline. So we're really excited about this recent expansion that I'll be getting into a little bit later in our conversation. One of the best things about American Cruise Lines that you really can take to heart is that 90% of Americans can drive to at least one or more of our embarkation ports. That means that those people that may be used to doing European river cruises or South American or ocean cruises or any of those types of cruises that they have to fly to or just travel long distances to get to, they don't have to do that. They can stay locally and explore the United States in a way that they may have never experienced before. I live in Connecticut, and we have at least 8 to 10 itineraries just in the New England area and the Upper East Coast. That is within easy driving distance. So I wouldn't even have to do a flight to get to any of these. Now, one of the great things that travel advisors really like about working with American Cruise Lines is that we have the highest onboard rebooking rates in the industry. Because of that, anybody that you book with American Cruise Lines that sails with us and books another itinerary while on board the vessel, you're automatically added to that new booking without you having to worry about anything. As long as you're on the previous booking, you're on the next booking, unless told otherwise. We want to work with travel advisors to build your businesses, to work together to make everybody aware of the opportunities that American Cruise Lines offers across the country. Let's see. Now, what sets us apart? What sets American Cruise Lines apart from other small ship cruise lines? First, our ships. We have the newest and most environmentally friendly small cruise ships and riverboats in America. That means that they have environmentally friendly uh, engines, and it's built in an environmentally friendly way. We make sure that as much as we can, that we don't impact the rivers and waterways in a negative way as we cruise on them. Being that we're small ships, tend to be between 100 to 180 guests on board our vessels. Just the size of our ships also reduces the impact on the local environment as well. Gracious hospitality is something that we really strive for. Attentive personalized service is the hallmark for American Cruise Lines. Uh, that's what we do. We specialize in the personalized service that you want to be able to provide your clients. And because there's only 100 guests or 150 or 180 guests on board any of our vessels, we're able to provide that personalized service. If somebody has a birthday, or if somebody is gluten free, or if somebody has uh, uses a scooter and wants to ask about using a scooter on shore excursions, things along those lines, we try to work with you as much as possible to make sure that your clients have the best experience possible. We do locally source our cuisine. This could be fruits, vegetables, meats. We try to get as much locally sourced ingredients as possible and use them on a daily basis in our menu. In addition, our menu is typically geared toward the region that we may be sailing. So if we're in the lower Mississippi River, we will have more Cajun or Southern cuisine. Whereas if you're in Puget Sound, we might have more uh, seafood based or salmon or things along those lines. It is an all-American experience. We are American built, American flagged, and American crewed, with more than 50 cruise itineraries in 35 states throughout the country. We have many complimentary experiences that is included in the cost of the cruise. Evening cocktail parties every evening with an open bar, top shelf alcohol, beer, wine, champagne, non-alcoholic beverages. And if anybody, say somebody is visiting wine country on the Columbia and Snake River and wants to bring a case of wine on board or a special bottle they want to bring from home, they want to bring their special vodka, we allow that with no corkage fees. Easy done. We can provide any glasses, ice, mixes, juices, anything needed that they may want. We offer many pre-cruise hotel stays prior to the cruise, particularly on the Mississippi River itineraries and the Columbian Snake River and Alaska, as well as featured shore excursions. Those are offered at most ports. Some itineraries have more featured shore excursions than others, but we'll get into that a little bit later. And it's just a very inclusive experience. Anything that happens on board the vessel is basically complimentary. We don't charge for that. We have daily entertainment. This could be in the form of musicians, historians, naturalists. We really strive to create a really entertaining onboard experience for the clients, even when they're not on shore. If we're sailing, there'll be something to do of interest. Uh, and then we have spacious amenities that they are the largest staterooms of any cruise ship. Interior entrances on all of our ships, and every view is entirely private. On some of our ships, we have windows, and some of our ships will have private balconies. and none of our balconies are public in any way. If you have a balcony, it's only accessible to you. Although we have one of my favorite things to do, especially if you have people traveling together, we offer the option of raising the partition between the balconies so they can share one big balcony. And some people really like doing that, especially if it's a family group traveling together and we can get, say, 3 or 4 staterooms in a row. They can have a big party balcony all to themselves. They love that. Uh, the private balconies do typically have sliding glass doors or a door that swings out onto their balcony and offer panoramic views from every angle. Now, what's new with American Cruise Lines? That's the question that everybody asks. What is going on? What are the new things that are happening, new itineraries? As you can see, we cover the entire United States and Alaska, various locations. New for 2024 itineraries, we have the Down East Maine. This is going to be similar to our Maine Coast and Harbors cruise. The Maine Coast and Harbors cruise is a Portland round trip, concentrating on the coast of Maine. Down East Maine actually is out of Bangor, Maine, so it's farther up into the Maine waterways. 8 days and 7 nights, stopping every day at a different port, visiting some fantastic locations throughout the cruise, lighthouses. We visit Acadia National Park. We go to all these really great locations, very easy access. And the great thing is that we only cruise in these locations in the best time of year for that area. As you know, it's impossible to find a good place to stay in peak season, whether it's in the fall or the summer in Maine, for any kind of a reasonable price. And you're not dealing with the traffic, you're not dealing with having to coordinate anything. We're taking care of everything for you. The Yankee Seaports is a brand new itinerary. It's going from Boston to New York, and then, or going the opposite direction depending on the date. Also 8 days, 7 nights. So we're going along the coast of Massachusetts and the coast of Connecticut in the Long Island Sound, stopping in ports we've never stopped in before, like Sag Harbor, Essex, Connecticut. We're Old Saybrook, Connecticut. We're visiting the aquarium, the Mystic Seaport, all these really fantastic locations. The Florida Gulf Coast and Keys, for me, is probably the sleeper hit of the year. We sold out probably 3 months worth of cruises in a shorter time that I've ever seen anything sell out since I've been here. It is a round trip cruise out of Fort Lauderdale, I'm sorry, Fort St. Petersburg, St. Petersburg, Florida. And we go to really interesting locations, we go to the Florida Keys. We go to Dry Tortugas. We go to visit Ernest Hemingway's house. We go to uh, the most popular locations in that area because we're sailing on one of our new coastal cats, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Because it's a brand new type of ship, we're able to go out more into the open ocean, and it's a safer, more stable cruise than we've ever been able to offer before. The Grand New England is the most comprehensive New England itinerary that we offer. This basically covers all of New England. It's a round trip out of Boston, and it covers the coast of Maine, the Cape Cod area. It covers into a little bit into, it goes Martha's Vineyard, Block Island, Nantucket. That I believe it goes into Newport, Rhode Island. It's just a fabulous cruise. If somebody's looking for a longer cruise, that's a great option. The Complete Southeast, that one we've never offered before. This is a combination of our East Coast Inland Passage cruise, which it's going to be starting up in the DC area, and it goes all the way down the East Coast Inland Passage, all the way down along the coast of Florida, out to the Florida Keys, and then ending in St. Petersburg, or the reverse direction. 22 days, 21 nights, stopping every day or most days at a different port. Some days are going to be sailing days, but it's an unbelievable experience. And you'd be surprised, people, they like the longer cruises. They're like, if I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to see the entire country. So this is a great option. The American Revolutions cruise is fantastic for those people interested in history. American Revolutions cruise is a round trip cruise out of the DC area, and it concentrates on the Chesapeake Bay and the uh, American Revolutions and the somewhat Civil War history, primarily going to the museums, visiting George Washington's estate, going to, excuse me, going to all the historical locations in that area. Pardon me. And then the historic Mississippi River is a round trip out of New Orleans. It's a little bit shorter than our typical 8-day, 7-night cruises. It's 1 day shorter, but it stops every day at a different port at the most popular locations in the lower Mississippi. And it's a round trip, so they don't have to worry about uh, flying in and out of different airports or anything like that. Uh, Again, the lower Mississippi River cruise in particular, the historic Mississippi, has quite a few complimentary shore excursions on that one being offered. Now, there are 3 different types of shore excursions on any of our itineraries. Excuse me, just waiting for it to, there we go. So the featured shore excursions are the complimentary ones. Those are offered to all guests, and there's typically at least one offered at every port on the Mississippi River, Columbian Snake River, and Alaska, with our other itineraries having some featured shore excursions being offered, just maybe not at every port. Premium excursions typically run between $10 and $95 per person. And signature excursions, those are the ones that are limited availability, or they might need to have special tickets. Like if we visit Graceland, for example, we need to order special tickets to get into Graceland, or the Pendleton experience on the Columbian Snake River. There's 3 different places we visit plus lunch on that one. So we just need to plan ahead for that experience. Those are the only signature ones are the only ones that have to be paid ahead of time. The premiums are paid after disembarkation. And we do have our new process of signing up for excursions, where we will send out an email to either the travel advisor, which you would forward to the guest, or to the guest directly, and they would log in using their booking number and their last name, and they would access their reservation, and that's where they would sign up for shore excursions, which are available 60 days prior to the sailing date. They're not available prior to that, but information about excursions will be available. We're really excited to introduce some new national park itineraries. We have been asked for many, many years about land tours, but we've never really been in a position to offer that. We're now in that position, and they have proven extremely popular. The National Parks and Legendary Rivers itinerary is it's basically the Columbian Snake River, in addition to 3 of the most popular national parks, Yellowstone, Grand Teton, and let's see, I am blanking on the 3rd one, but we have the 3 major parks in that area, and as well as the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. the Great Smoky Mountains is I've done about 3 or 4 days land excursion the after the Tennessee Rivers itinerary, which is between Nashville and Chattanooga. Denali has just been added. Literally, it was just announced today. We just put out the press release, and we have now added a 7-night Denali land package to our Southeast Alaska and Alaskan Explorers itineraries. This is a phenomenal option for your guests. You'll be able to fly you'll be flying to Juneau and then up to Anchorage, and then it's from Anchorage we'll be going to the to different uh, various parks. This is a brand new itinerary. We'll be definitely offering more information on this as it comes out, but it's something that people have been asking for, and we're really, really excited. Now, those people that do choose land packages, all transportation and or flights, depending on what's needed for the particular land package, is included between the locations, not pre and post. So flying to and from their home, that would not be included. But if there's any flights between the various cruises or between the land package and the cruise, that would be included. All shore excursions to national parks and area interest during the land portion would be included. All meals, all gratuities, and the post-cruise transfer to the airport is included for our land packages. Again, we try to make things as inclusive as possible for our clients. We also have now introduced new combined itineraries. The Great United States literally covers the entire United States. And the Civil War battlefields, it concentrates on the Civil War in the Southeast region. The Great United States itinerary will start in Portland, Oregon. You'll do the Columbia and Snake Rivers all the way to Clarkston. That's on the ship, on the American Harmony, stopping at 8 different ports. Then from there, you'll take the land tour and we'll go to Glacier National Park, Yellowstone, and Grand Teton, and we'll end in Jackson. So this is going to be on a bus, a coach bus. We'll be having hotels along the way, and everything is overseen by an adventure guide that will be with them throughout the whole cruise or the whole tour. That land portion is limited. So just because a ship may hold 150 guests or 180 guests, only 40 will be able to continue on to the land package. So if anybody's interested in doing that, just make sure they're aware that it is a limited option. Then we fly them from Jackson all the way down to New Orleans. We put them up in a hotel in New Orleans, and we start our complete Mississippi River cruise on board the American Symphony, 21 ports, going all the way up to St. Paul. This is a 3-week itinerary. Once we hit St. Paul, we fly them over to Portland, Maine, on the other side of the world, and we do the Maine coast and harbors. We do the Yankee seaports along the coast of Connecticut, and then we do the Hudson River Fall Foliage Cruise. We do this once a year. So the Hudson River Fall Foliage Cruise is done in the middle of October. So you're going to start in August and end in October. This is a 2-month itinerary, and it is sold out for 2024. It is an extremely popular option. And for the type of clientele that we tend to have, they are typically retired, semi-retired clientele that have worked all their life so that they can travel in their retirement. And they want to see the world. They may not be comfortable in this time, in this day and age, to go overseas, or they may have done overseas a million times and they want to do something new. This is a great option, and the commissions are really good. Now this is our map of our Civil War battlefields. So you're going to start in New Orleans, and you're going to go up the Mississippi River to Memphis. We're going to do a land tour out to land transportation out to Nashville. And then we're going to go from Nashville over to Chattanooga. And then we're going to do a land package down to Amelia Island. And then we're going to go along the East Coast Inland Passage all the way up to Washington, D.C. or Baltimore. No, actually Baltimore. And and then at the end, we're going to be talking about Antietam, Gettysburg, and there's going to be a small land package at the end before we bring them to the airport to fly home. So that is a little over, I think that's about a month-long cruise, give or take. Again, extremely popular. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about our fleet because we are the largest small ship cruise line in the industry in the United States. This is our fleet. We have 4 different categories of ships. Our coastal cruise ships, we have 5 of them, ranging from our smaller 100 guest ships, the American Star and the American Spirit, and the American Independence, all the way up to the American Constitution and Constellation, which hold about 170, 175 guests or so. These sort of remind you of the classic river cruise ships. They are very comfortable, very streamlined, and just perfect for coastal cruising. Coastal cats. These are our brand new coastal cats. These have the lowest draft. These are the most stable. These are the ones that we are, because we have these, we're able to get into about 500 more ports throughout the country than we were able to with any of our other ships. And that's how we can go down to the Florida Keys. And that's how we can go up to Bangor, Maine. And that's how we can do these interesting new itineraries that we were never able to do before. And I'll get more into the coastal cats in a little bit. Our paddle wheelers are extremely popular. We have 4 of them, ranging from 100 guests to about 185 guests. And those will either be on the Mississippi River or the Columbia and Snake River. And our modern river boats, we currently have 6 modern river boats, and those are located on the Mississippi River and the Columbia and Snake River, and yeah, those 2 locations. So half of them are on the Mississippi, half on the Columbia and Snake. Our coastal cats are what we are really, really proud of right now. The American Glory, American Eagle, the American Liberty, and the American Legend. Those are the first 4 out of 12 that we are building. So the American Eagle has launched as of mid-August. That's the first one, and the Glory will be the next one. The Liberty and the Legend are still being built, but they look very similar to this. As you can see, they look like catamaran in the front, and they look like a regular cruise ship in the back. They hold a maximum of 100 guests. Usually it's, we like to keep it to around 90, 95 guests, but we can go up to 100. And that really makes for a very unique and personalized experience. This is also a fantastic option for those people looking to do groups or charters. It's a perfect size for charters. So just something to think about in the future. I'm going to bring you to a virtual ship tour, which is real exciting. Let's see here. Here we go. So there we go. Okay, so for our virtual ship tour, this is our forward lounge. This is the American Eagle, so you're actually seeing what it looks like. This is where our nightly entertainment takes place. So this is where our entertainers will be. People can sit and relax. There's tables and conversation locations all throughout this forward lounge area. Moving on to the Sky Lounge. This is another location that people, we might have our cocktail party here. Here's the bar, for example. Now, alcohol is available for those guests who want it at the bar during the nightly entertainment, during the cocktail parties. But if anybody wants it at any other time, they can get it as upon request. Just talk to one of our crew, and they'll be able to assist you. Moving on to the restaurant. The restaurant is where we really shine, in my opinion. Uh, our restaurant is large enough for everybody on the ship to be seated at the same time. So we don't have to worry about early seatings or late seatings or anything like that. And it's also open seating, which means you're not assigned to sit next to the same people all the time. You may find friends on board that you want to sit with throughout the whole week, but you don't have to. As you can also see, there's different size of tables. Here's this 4 people can sit here, but what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 8 people can sit here. Going over, let's see, we talked about the forward lounge. So let's go to a veranda suite. This is what one of the veranda suite staterooms looks like. This is an average stateroom. The lowest category stateroom will be a little smaller than this, but not significantly smaller. They'll have a choice of a king size bed or 2 twins. There's a nice closet, a desk, a Keurig, and then there is also a full size bathroom. It's not the type of bathroom that you have to, you can't turn around in the shower or anything. It's very large and comfortable. There is a grab bar in the shower. If somebody needs a commode or anything, we can put a raised toilet seat or shower bench in any of the bathrooms in any of our category cabins. Go back to the veranda suite and let's go to the grand suite. Now this is the largest of our suites. The grand suites have its own living room area. You can see there's a little bar area, there's a mini fridge, there's a little place to sit and eat if they want to have breakfast in their room, for example. The bedroom is very comfortable. There's the private balcony out here. You can see there's plenty of room to relax. There's a TV there, nice closet to put their clothes in because people are going to be on this ship for between a minimum of 1 week, if not longer. So we want to make it feel as homey as they can. And then this is the bathroom, very similar to the other one, except this one has double sinks. People really like this. It's very luxurious, but still feels homey in my opinion. You don't feel like you're in a museum or something too fancy to be able to just relax. Now I'm going to go to the sun deck just to give you an idea of what the sun deck looks like, because people typically are going to spend a lot of time out here. So this is the sun deck, or at least part of it. This is going to be half of it. And we just started adding walking tracks to our sun decks. People really like it. People have been asking for it, and we just started adding it. This is the other side of the sun deck. So you can go around the entire top of the sun deck and just, for their morning walk, they could just lap it around. And then I believe that covers all of the interiors for the coastal cats. But one thing to bear in mind, not just the coastal cats that have interiors like this. We've recently updated all of our fleet. So it may not have the exact color scheme or anything, but it has all of our fleets has a very similar modern classic interior design that's just been updated over this past winter. So it's just stunning. Now we have a travel advisor portal that I would strongly suggest, if you aren't already on it, that you get access to it. If you have received mailings from American Cruise Lines in the past, then you have a customer number that you'll find on your recent mailing, or you can call in to our customer service line to get your loyalty number. That will allow you to register on our travel advisor portal. You can download customizable marketing materials. You can access group sales information, access training and videos. With all the new things happening with American Cruise Lines, it's really important to get updated training. If you've done it in 2019 or 2020 and you haven't done it recently, do it again, because we have just updated our training with all the new things happening. You're able to track and update your ACL reservations. So you'll be able to go and find anybody that's been booked under your name, under your loyalty number. You'll be able to track everything on there. And you can even book new clients right on our portal. You won't want to do it on the website itself, because that's for individuals. In order for it to attach to your agency and get commission on it and everything, you have to book through the portal under your loyalty number. We have regional business development managers at your disposal. We have 5 regions that we concentrate on. Sarah Hamilton Moran is your Northeast Regional Business Development Manager. Cindy Kristen, many of you may be familiar with her. She's been in the industry for a very long time. She does the Southeast. Linda Heckman does the Midwest. Faith Alcorn Selk is in the Northwest. And Mary Grimes does the Southwest. They are available to you to help you with marketing, to help you with trade tools, to set up cruise nights, either virtually or in person, to help sell the product. If you're doing a group, or if you just want to introduce American Cruise Lines to your clientele, they are fantastic and knowledgeable tools for you. We also have groups and charters available. You have myself and my colleague Wendy Whalen Smith, no relation, and we are available by phone or email. If you want to jot down our phone numbers or email addresses, or if you want to reference it later, we'd love to chat with you if you're interested. Groups and charters are a booming industry that we have just found has been a very good way for travel advisors to make the most of their bookings, because basically it's all word of mouth. If one person goes, they want all their friends to go, and it's a really easy sell. Those people who are with our CLIA webinar today, we have a promotion being offered. Anybody that books the Historic South and Golden Isles cruise aboard the brand new American Eagle, what's one of our the cat class ships, for departures in December of 23, will get a $100 bonus commission, or the historic Mississippi River cruise aboard the American Melody for departures in March of 24. You'll also get the $100 bonus commission. You must mention the CLIA webinar when you book your reservation. That means that you'll have to call in. If you book online and you have a booking number, call in immediately and speak with a cruise specialist regarding the bonus commission. Or you can just call a cruise specialist and tell them, and they'll be happy to assist you and book you right over the phone. Want to thank everybody for your time today. I hope that you learned a lot. I hope that we are able to work together in the future. And remember, our drive to share America's story on the finest American ships has made us and will keep us America's leading cruise line. Thank you so much.
Sarah, thank you so much for sharing all that information about American Cruise Lines, the new itineraries, the offers you guys have, everything that you all have done to the vessels and what the clients can kind of expect when they're on board. We do have a few questions here from a few of our attendees. Could you speak about if, could you go back to any agent FAMs or information that you have if ACL offers a referral program?
Okay, so that's two questions. So yeah, so we do offer travel advisor or FAM rates. There is an application that you would find on the travel advisor portal. You will fill out the application. It can be for any itinerary, but it's not approved until 60 days or less prior to the sailing date based on availability at that time. So if it's our more popular itineraries, you may or may not be able to get onto it. But we do offer 50% for you and a guest in the same stateroom. Or if you can wait up to 1 week prior to sailing for approval, like I just approved one for the Maine Coast and Harbors cruise for October 3rd for a travel advisor and her husband. And it's a 75% discount. There were only 4 staterooms left. So we had to wait until a week prior to see if there was still enough availability. There was, so we got that approved. So you need to have fill that application. You would need to have your valid CLIA card submitted, and you'd have to make sure that you've completed the American Cruise Lines training. There's a 6-module training program on the portal. If that's all completed, you'll receive a certification. Once that's received, and all those can be sent in to agents@americancruiselines.com, and we'll look at it for approval. As far as I'm sorry, can you remind me what the second part of it? There's the FAM
Yep.
portion, and then
The second question was, oop, sorry about that. The second question was, does ACL offer a referral program?
referral. Okay, so we call that an Eagle Society. So once a client has cruised with us once, then they become an Eagle Society member and qualify for an Eagle Society referral discount. So that means that if they refer a client, they would get a $500 discount off a future cruise that is not paid in full. I think it has to be 4 months prior to sailing to be applied to a specific cruise, but also the new guests would also get a $500 per stateroom discount. So yes, we absolutely have an Eagle Society referral program. You can see that information on our travel advisor portal. Just look for Eagle Society information, and that's where you'll find those details.
Great, thank you so much. That did answer their question. They are thanking you through the chat. Sarah, another question or another, yes, another question that some of our advisors are asking is, could you go back to, well, first of all, thank you for sharing the virtual ship tour of seeing the staterooms, the walking path, the veranda suites. They do have a specific question about the staterooms. Are all of the staterooms outside cabins?
Yes, in all of our ships, we have no inside staterooms. You'll either have a window stateroom or a private balcony. All entrances are also interior entrances, so nobody accesses it accesses their room from the outside. So yes, you'll have a view no matter which ship you're on.
Perfect, wonderful. I know that you speak about the paddle wheelers.
Mhm.
One of our attendees is asking, do any of your paddle wheelers, is that included on the itinerary from Nashville to New Orleans?
It depends on the date. We'd have to look at the schedule. Depending on the date and everything, it determines which ship is doing which itinerary. But the paddle wheelers may be doing the Tennessee rivers, and maybe do Music Cities. I just don't have that in front of me right now. But if somebody has a question, I certainly can answer that if you want to call in either a cruise specialist, or if you're looking into doing a group, you can call Wendy or myself and we can look into the details. But yes, the paddle wheelers do many of the Mississippi River itineraries.
Perfect. Could you speak about the cuisine on board? I know that you said that most of the menus are curated to be locally sourced. Could you
Mhm.
speak about any dietary restrictions or dietary needs that our
Mhm.
clients may have on board, and who can they go to with them still being able to experience the local cuisine?
Absolutely. We have found, especially in recent years, that many more people have dietary restrictions. And because all of our meals are made to order, we are able to accommodate most of those restrictions. The most common tend to be vegetarian or vegan, low salt. Um, Somebody might have you know, they might be a diabetic and need to have low sugar, things along those lines. We absolutely can accommodate that. We just need to know in advance. So just make sure that when you're filling and when you're telling your customer service all the details about the client, that you mention, oh, somebody needs a low sodium diet or somebody is vegan. The only thing that we really can't do, possibly we could do it for charters in rare occasions, but we really can't do kosher because of the restrictions in the kitchen. But most others we absolutely can do. We just want to know ahead of time so that we can notify the ship and make them aware of things that they want. And also, if somebody wants to have specific brands of things, if somebody's like, I really want to have oat milk, or I really want this particular brand of Jim Beam, anything like that, let us know ahead of time. We notify the ship and they go out and get it. That's a really great thing about being sailing close to home, is that we dock every day. We can go and get things on a regular basis. So, if we don't have something one day, we can get it the next. But so everything's made to order and we can accommodate special requests.
Yeah, I think that that makes the ship and their time on board super unique and super
Mhm.
curated to their experience. So that's amazing to hear that you all have that capability to do that. We
Mhm.
do have a couple agents here asking if they're, well, one, if we can see the BDM list again so that they can get that
Yes.
contact information. And then once you're pulling or when you're pulling that up, if you could speak about any single supplements or solo travel pricing.
Yes. So there's two things that we can do. We have single staterooms on all of our ships. Those are staterooms that are a little smaller than our doubles, but are only for single travelers. We have so many single travelers that cruise with us. Some ships have more of those than others. Our paddle wheelers in particular have a ton of single staterooms, but all of our ships have at least a couple of them available. Uh, those are going to be less expensive than a single supplement. However, if we're out of singles, or if somebody wants a double stateroom and wants the king bed, we can do that. They just take the brochure fare of whatever category that they want to be in and multiply it by 150%. And that is the single supplement.
Great, that answered their question. Last question here on board. Could you speak about any, if the ship or how the ship accommodates any accessibilities or accessibility issues or disabilities that some clients may have?
Okay, so our ships are all They're very accessible. We have elevators to all decks on all of our ships. Some of our older ships, like the American Star or the Independence, the elevators are smaller, so they won't accommodate a scooter. But the rest of our ships, the elevators are large enough to accommodate a scooter. Um, and we do have accessible staterooms, usually one, if not two, accessible staterooms on board each vessel. And those have wider door frames to the hallway, wider door frames in larger bathrooms. I believe it has a wider door frame out onto the balcony as well. But one thing to bear in mind is we do not have roll-in showers. They'll have a lip of about 5 1/4 or 5 3/4 inches that they'll need to be able to step over. We can also put shower benches or raised toilet seats again in any of the staterooms, not just the accessible staterooms. So some people, they get concerned, oh, so and so uses a cane. Not a problem. There's even along the hallways, they have rails, like guardrails for people to hold on to along the hallways. So, and if they're small ships, literally, we're talking, you know, going down 3 or 4 staterooms to the midship uh, elevators to go to eat or go down to do some excursions or go to the lounges. Very easy to get around the ship. And as far as shore excursions go, some are going to be more accessible than others. So we make sure that we note on a particular, on the descriptions of a shore excursion, if something is accessible. For example, if they're going to a historic plantation home in Oak Alley, for example, and the second floor is not accessible, we'll tell you that so that people can make the decision if they want to be able to go. And some are just more active than others, like a kayak expedition. You can go out kayaking, or they might be going out on a chartered fishing boat, or things along those lines. It might be a little bit more active. Again, we'll let you know whether something is low activity, medium, or high activity level.
Thank you so much, Sarah. That's super helpful for our agents to know and just to be aware of. I'm glad that you brought up shore excursions. Could you speak about your favorite shore excursion or the most popular one that you see the clients really taking advantage of once they're aboard?
Sure. Yes, I would say, and I'm just going to go by some of the most popular itineraries first. So, doing a lower Mississippi itinerary, I usually like to tell people go New Orleans to Memphis. The reason being that we when you end in Memphis, you can spend a whole day in Memphis, and we have so many cool shore excursions there. You can go visit Graceland. You can go to the Civil Rights Museum. You can go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You can do a city excursion of Memphis. There's so many really neat things to do, and we do that the day before we get off the ship. So you don't have to worry about doing a post cruise if they want to do stuff in Memphis. They can just fly home on the day of disembarkation instead of having to spend more money on another day. That's a super popular location. Columbia and Snake Rivers, probably my personal favorite because I'm a nature kind of girl. I love Multnomah Falls. It's the second highest waterfall in the United States, and it's absolutely stunning. It's a complimentary excursion on our Columbia and Snake River cruise. We visit so many natural locations on that itinerary, but that's probably one of my favorites. Uh, in the New England area, I would say Newport, because we do lobster bake there. And one of my colleagues actually visited Newport and saw the lobster bake that they did. I wish I had the video for it, but they cover it in seaweed. They put it over a bonfire. There's lobsters and I think they have clams and corn and uh, potatoes, and they cover it all in a big tarp and they steam it with no seasoning for like 2-3 hours, and they just steam it. And then they unveil it, and there's plumes of steam coming out. And there's just this beautiful, naturally seasoned lobster bake that we hold at Fort Adams in Newport. And they have everything set up beautifully. They have tables and chairs and everything. It's just a really cool experience. And that's offered on every New England cruise that stops in Newport in that area. So that's probably one of my favorite New England excursion.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Sarah. I think that all the information that you've shared today has been super helpful, eye-opening, and you make American Cruise Lines sound very exciting. And I hope that our agents do take advantage of the offers that you all have, the new itineraries, and just all of the information and resources that you have provided. We are coming to a close here of our webinar. If you want to show just one more time, yep, the bonus commission that you all are offering to the attendees of this webinar. That would be great. And Sarah, I want to thank you again for your time this afternoon, and I hope to see you next time.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
All right, have a good day.
You too.